Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is a scene for Shadows of Austin, Changeling the Lost venue. Today is the day that many changelings have been waiting for. One specifically, Charlemagne. He has been doing almost, some would argue, too much, but that's ridiculous. This is the Sphinx Court. We do everything in access. So Charlemagne has his whole court up in a very fervent frenzy as everyone is getting corshairs ready for the theme of the night. For those of you who are currently watching and tuning in, the theme for the night is a Roaring Twenties party. Charlemagne, thanks to the efforts of one Lillian, is dressed incredibly, impeccably. One would say that he looks directly out of that era, combined with that almost adorableness that seems to radiate off him, and that so present spring mantle. For those of you that are just meeting or hearing about this endeavor, Charlemagne's mantle gives off a scent of almost sweet honey, as there's also a deep scent of lemongrass that fills the air. Those that come into contact with him almost feel extremely elated and excited, as if looking into new things for the first time. To put it in perspective, think of when a child looks and remembers that tomorrow is going to be Christmas, that innocence that comes off of him in almost incredible waves. He is, can one say, almost nervous? But it's combined nervousness and just waiting. The line for the advertisement that he's been doing has sprawled, uh, one would say, a few blocks, as this has become the social event of the season of the of the autumn season. And he's looking at his workers. Everyone looks amazing. He is almost a ball of energy, as he seems to be literally bouncing up and down, just sort of bursting with energy. He would have asked Mel and Bella and Lillian to be let in ahead of time, since their parts right now are very much so needed. So with that, Charlemagne is literally bouncing off the walls. He will turn to Lillian. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Oh my God, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, this suit looks amazing.
I may have gone a bit overboard with it.
Oh, shut up. You have not gone ham enough. Look at this. My ass looks amazing.
Lillian avoids telling Charlemagne that she specifically made those pants for that ass.
And he is just smiling and beaming. Whenever looks like she's Curtis, you there?
Curtis Hunt, if you're talking, you're muted.
He
Yeah.
just came back in. He may need a sec.
All right. But with that, Charlemagne is just like, it's okay. Is giving, walking around, looking towards people. Is Penelope around so I can give Curtis a minute to catch up?
Penelope is currently not dressed yet for the evening. She's still in her casual clothes, jeans, loose-fitting t-shirt, hairband, keeping it all out of her face as she's finishing last-minute preps on drinks and food. Looks up. Everything ready to go?
Oh my god, yes! You aren't you dressed yet? Oh my god.
Drinks,
I
food.
know.
I don't want to
No.
get it all over, you know.
I know. This is so I can't stand it. I'm so
Well,
ready. I'm so
I-
fucking ready.
I think the dancer just made it.
Bella!
Yeah, Bella will arrive. I assume she'll arrive with everyone else in the motley as well. It's up to you guys.
No. Because they have to come in with the regular crowd. Your Motley would have to come in with the crowd. You get let in early.
Yeah, then Bella will arrive. Her face will look a little kind of flustered actually. Her cheeks will be a little bit red, but yeah, she'll be ready. Her hair will be kind of in like a almost like an imitation of a finger wave. And she's in a very kind of glitzy kind of flapper dress, you know. And she's glittering very much, which is probably something quite new for her, but she'll make an entrance.
He will sort of like run up to her and like almost reach for her hands. Are you ready? Oh my gosh, are you ready? The dancers are waiting for you. Everyone's fucking ready. I'm so fucking ready. Are you fucking ready? I'm so fucking ready. This is going to be so fucking extra. I can't.
I mean, she'll a little half smile will appear on her lips. I'd be disappointed if it wasn't, Charlemagne.
You know it. I'd be so fucking disappointed, but you know what? It's going to be great.
Huh? Did you get my message about the about my motley, the guests?
Fuck. Hold on. Swipes. Tumblr notifications, Instagram notifications, just swipe. When did you send it? Swipe.
She'll actually take a couple of steps towards him and you know, she'll smile and she'll probably gently rest her hand on his shoulder. Oh, it's okay. I just asked if it could be let in past the line. I heard quite a few of us were gonna be in. I just wanted to make sure it all checked out.
Travis comes running up to both of them, puts his arms around them. Bro, we have a situation. It looks like Dude, all the guests are at the door, man.
All right. Okay, so everyone ready? Get your motley mates, call them, tell them to hurry up and come now. So,
dude, on it.
We're ready. Let's do the thing. Big smiles, everyone.
Yeah, Belle will have slinked off to to a corner to prepare with her dancers, and she'll have sent a message to Motley. She'll send a text probably to to the group like he says come in now or something.
As the doors are opening, the smells, the sounds, the sights, the sensations running through your body as various mentals of the seasonal courts just erupt through the doorway. It is the party of the year. Everyone is here. Everyone who is anyone is here. Anyone who is not anyone is also here. And those who are who would not be invited are also here. Everyone is waiting to try to get into this place. The line to get into Crosshairs is enormous. It is the hall packed. The bouncer has his glasses down as he's trying to hold them back and turn it into one at a time. Thanks to the summer court providing some muscle in the form of Nicholas, who is just flabbergasted by this. How many changelings are coming out to this event? And I will leave it to Anthony to describe what everyone sees as they come in.
Oh my gosh. As the first thing you see when you come in is it looks almost as if the way the alcohol is set up, it's almost as if it's in prohibition. So it sort of looks like alcohol is sort of like a big deal. It's coming out of crates. And there's definitely people all around with the pinup suits with the guns appropriate for the era that is every now and then shooting out glitter and just a whole bunch of extra shit. There's people singing on the stage. Right now we have some electro swing that's happening, some real new off the wall shit, and it's it's a little overwhelming how excited everyone is, but that excitement is almost contagious. And it seems if you walked in here with any cares, those cares are they immediately melt away. And Charlemagne is just sort of bathing in it.
So rather than kind of get into the thick of things, Lillian instead for right now, she's kind of just she's kind of gliding amongst the crowd right now. She's not really looking to do too much at the moment. The only thing that she's doing at the moment is seeing if she hears any particular sounds, such as the jingling of coins or the sound of a knife scraping against stone.
Coming through the crowd is that big, powerful wave of heat and fire, and this very commanding sort of presence, like something has just literally stepped in. Grigori walks to the crowd as he hears the kind of rush and the welling of people. He kind of just nods to himself with this big smile on his face. For people seeing him for the first time, he's big, very powerfully built. He's about 6'5" and at least 270 pounds, 280 of muscle alone. He has a woman hanging on his arm that he keeps very tender care as they're passing through the crowd, but people step out of his way. He has this very imposing presence, very commanding. And he just kind of walks and looks around with this big grin on his face, and he just seems to nod and almost stays in the center mass of the crowd where the noise is the loudest, where the heat is the loudest.
There is a sudden explosion of not sound but sensation down everyone's spine, like the cold chill of death, that feeling like someone is stepping on your grave. And as soon as that wave washes over some of the nearby changelings, many of them can hear the sounds of heavy boots hitting the tiled floor. Walking in with a what looks to be a textured instrument case, perhaps a violin is inside of it, would be Theodore. He looks around. You can smell fresh snow and lead and the fires of a forge gone dark. As he walks forward towards the man of the hour, Charlemagne, his right hand extended.
He will grasp his hand, pull him into that brotastic hug.
Y'all
You
know
made
how to throw
it!
a party.
Oh my gosh, you made it! Of course we know how to throw the club. It's what we do. Like, throw a party. It's what we do.
He nods his head.
I'm too excited. Words don't mean
Like
anything
this
to me
since
right
the
now.
last freehold. You're one of a kind, Charlemagne. You're one of a kind.
He smiles, and it's more of that. He's beaming. He's just no, literally. Uh, I guess right now noticing that that big person just walked in, and Charlemagne is just going to make a beeline because it's just a little bit of just like an oomph, a big oomph, and he'll sort of
Yeah.
smile big and wave.
Gregory will turn him and the woman over. See the guy coming towards him. Just, again, big smile. He just seems to stand there in the swell of the crowd, almost closing his eyes and opening it. And just smiles at him as he walks over, and will bow very formally as well, like putting his hand on his belly and bowing as well, very low. Your Majesty.
Oh my, haven't met you before. You certainly fill up the room.
For what it's
So
worth,
big.
especially as he bows, as he ducks, the much smaller, much darker, much less ostentatious woman holding onto his arm takes the cue and ducks into a courtesy with him.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Glad you can make it, both of you. Oh my gosh. But I can feel my chest through my butthole. It is the best feeling ever.
The swell of the crowd is something else, Your Majesty. It is quite a time to be alive.
So big. He just looks at you like.
Oh yeah, he's built like a truck. And he'll smile down at you. I am Grigori, the Summer Court, a herald to my own fiery queen.
Oh my gosh, B Lady she did the thing. Can't wait. So
I am honored by your hospitality, Your Majesty. And you shake your hand very enthusiastically. That grip is like fucking steel.
and just show the height differential. You shake his hand, he is like jumping up and down with your hand.
God damn it, that's adorable. He would just let out this big thunderous laugh, like "Wah!" You know what I mean? Just echoes around the whole place.
He laughs
Good.
harder because he enjoys that excitement.
Good. It is good to see fine king in his kingdom displaying such joy.
So big. I can't do words right now, but yeah, your friend.
Oh, where are my manners? This, Your Majesty, is the noble, my dearest friend. This is Lady Kaylee. You'll turn, edging her very carefully, very deliberately, so she takes the center stage.
Yeah, for what it's worth, Kaylee is keeping her head slightly canted much of the time. She seems alert, but she's not looking at the subject of her interest. I mean, it's not like her eyes look in any way wrong. It's just she's clearly listening more than she is looking. And she follows the cues by touch pretty well. So as the arm guides her around, she moves with it without hesitation. But she doesn't look you quite head on. She does seem to have a reasonable guess of where you are, if only because with all the mantle you have, just that waft of smell and sensation that you're putting off gives her a damn it, Donna. Gives her a pretty good point to lock onto. So she does finally tip her head that direction, but she definitely doesn't seem to focus on your eyes or anything like that. As she kind of offers out a hand lightly, and admittedly it's ladylike, but it's also very easy to play off, not necessarily aiming for a hand this way. She just kind of lifts it. It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty.
He'll take your hand and give it a small peck on the wrist. So good to... Wow. You're so ladylike. I can do manners, but I'm so happy that you could come.
It's very interesting to be out.
I hope that you enjoy yourself.
I can't imagine that I won't.
What mantle is coming off her?
Um, from what I understand, with one level of Winter Mantle, it seems almost like you have none at all.
Yeah.
It's very, very subtle. So there's not a lot to pick from, really.
Mm.
She doesn't have like, especially standing between the two of you, she's pretty much swallowed presence-wise.
Mm.
It practically fades away by comparison.
And if you need anything, our doors, as you can see, are always open. Oh shit! He puts his hand down.
There's a faint smirk.
Figuratively speaking, I didn't mean to be insensitive. I'm sorry. And the look that's very evident to Grigori is that you've just kicked a puppy, and his face goes down, like he's like, oh shit.
Gregorio put his arm very sympathetically around the king, going, "Not to worry, Your Majesty. Kaylee, I think, understood what you were trying to say. Don't worry. She's very understanding."
Yeah, for what it's worth, she doesn't look annoyed. She'll fuss at her motley mates for saying things like that, especially mid-argument. But in this case, no, he gets away pretty scot-free. The only, I think, real thing that'll stand out is that, like, she does have, she's dressed appropriate to the theme, not flashily by any means. She's got a purse, but more like the only real odd point of interest to her, because she doesn't have a big present. She doesn't stand out. But of all things, like, as she's got her hair pulled up and wrapped around and whatnot, reasonably similar to the theme, almost like as a point of interest in the hair is a ring of keys that just kind of jangled down to one side, like kind of like a fascinator.
And he'll say, well, words. So, thank you again, and I have to see to the rest of my guests. Enjoy yourself.
There is the light nod, just so polite.
And with that, he will sort of just meld back into the crowd.
One of the most chatty autumn courtiers present would be Ava. As she's walking around in the crowd, others can see her. She's not the most famous one, but she is currently heading towards the bar, talking her usual mile a minute. So, like, that's what you're doing over there? Why am I even here? What is going on with all of this? Boring 20 is really interesting. I like that over there. And just going past all of you, you can hear her words coming out. It's, for those who can see it, it's almost faster than her lips are moving, it feels. For those who are relying more on other senses, what you can smell coming off of her is gin. Lots and lots of gin. And if you're someone whose sense of smell is a little bit higher due to perhaps not having sight, it's like reeking of gin.
Mel is gonna come up and just hello there. How are you doing this evening? Are you enjoying the party?
There's like 3 different things going on right now. There's the party itself. I think there's something to do with information gathering, and this new concoction that I have devised. It is incredible. Synaptic impulses about 300% up.
Really? And wow, that's impressive. So
Don't normally come to parties.
So did you did you bring it to test here, or did you just use it to try and get yourself in the mood for the party?
It was a experiment that was suggested to me by a fellow member of my court, one Brendan Loons. You might know of him. He's a warden, down at the city jail, and he also happens to be in charge of the one underneath. Everyone's afraid of him because of the cold iron stuff.
Oh, yeah, I know of him. I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting him, but I know
No pleasure.
of him.
Very sad.
Very sad. Okay.
most of the time he likes to talk only about what he does with the cold iron, and that is really spectacular. But unfortunately, cold iron is one note.
Scary.
No, scary is what happens when you have way too much to ingest with some of the concoctions that we have created recently. Are you in the market for buying something? Here, have some gin.
This is this just gin?
She takes the bottle, flips it around. Don't know. Remove the label.
Okay. She'll peel the label off.
I was informed by that man over there, she says, pointing over at Theodore, who smiles and waves, that the proper way to drink gin is to just drink down the entire bottle. So this will be my third bottle right now. Would you like to have some for my fourth?
Okay. I don't know how to tell you this, but I think he was messing with you.
She's just staring at you. You can see she's processing that, but the response is hitting like a brick wall.
Okay. Why don't we go get you some water? And I will explain to you why drinking a whole bottle of alcohol at once is not a great plan.
I would
She's nodding
personally
her head.
advise against it.
Just nodding her head as she's walking. Someone else that others present might recognize is Penelope coming out of the back in a beautifully done flapper dress with tassels made of what could be vines and adorned with glittering pieces of fruit. Walking around, greeting everyone, smiling, laughing, heading over to help with the bar, which is getting overwhelmed at this point.
I have one important question, Matt.
I have okay, go for it.
Is Penelope's dress better than any of mine?
Yes. Anyone who's looking can tell that hers is clearly a hedge-spun piece of garment with various elements of fruits, twining vines, flowers, and what you're hoping are dead portions of hedge beasts on it. At once both supernatural and with a very worldly grounded quality to it. A more infamous spring courtier, though, comes up, placing his hands onto Lillian's shoulders from behind. He lowers his large shades. It's Xavier Masters, and looks around, peeking over her shoulder. You're just the person I was looking for.
I certainly hope I was a little hard to find.
Very difficult.
Well, how can I help you?
It's how can I help you? I heard that you have a problem coming your way. One that I might be able to solve.
Is this... What kind of problem is this?
Oh, just the kind of problem that money always can solve. He says, flicking his wrist, and even though he has short sleeve shirt on, and is definitely not dressed for the party, there is a card in it, and he passes it over. Come by the gambling hall sometime. I'm sure that we can make all your problems go away.
She kind of looks over. Looks down at the card, looks back over.
Nods at her and starts walking towards Gregory.
He's just walking, keeping a hold of his companion, but looking up at the ceiling, kind of just staring at the strobe lights, closing his eyes, and then we'll see the man approach and just, of course, adopt that, trademark big grin.
So, my name is Xavier Masters, and I can't help but notice you're tall, he says with his hand extended.
Hello, Xavier Masters. I am Grigori. I can't help but notice how small is he compared to me.
He is just 5'6".
I cannot help but notice that you are a dwarf.
I like you. You're exactly what I'm looking for. How much would it cost to get you to be willing to break legs?
Kind of frowns, looking around the nightclub, smirking. Break legs.
Yeah.
Word of advice, Xavier. Lean down. If you're going to offer me to be a paid beat stick, don't do it in front of where everybody can hear.
There's no more fat there. There's no more fat there.
Kaylee's grasp is shifting ever so slightly. She is even subtly getting somewhat closer to Gregory.
Look, I'm not saying that it needs to be beating people up. I'm looking for a bouncer for my establishment that may be a little bit inclined to some. Let me be frank. I got money. Would you like to work for me?
Sure. I do, I've done bouncing before. I do bounty hunting currently. Whatever you need.
Wonderful. How does she's counting on his fingers. 5K a month, and you never tell anyone what you see inside.
Look around. You say this in the middle of the court where everyone's going to be curious.
Exactly.
Shrugs. I do my job. Simple.
Great. Well then, we're in business, he says, sticking out his hand again.
Yeah, Gregory will clasp it fairly firmly and pull him in suddenly.
Yep.
Like, firmly. We are in business. Make sure of that.
Excellent. Now I need to go get a drink.
Nods. Good.
Your first day starts next week. I'll call you with the details.
Nods again. I'll be there. On time as always. He just nods, flexes his suit.
And as he walks away, you can just for a moment, underneath his cologne, get the scent of, what is that, lavender and newly grown grass.
You just shrug and keep walking, like, weird spring people and their weird spring things, as he's walking.
Yep. Kaylee simply makes note, tying scents and sensations to names.
The sound of music is picking up again as the dancers are continuing to play across the stage. Everything seems to be going quite well for them. Eyes, though, are everywhere on the food, the guests, the decor, the music, with authentic 1920 songs playing. Everything seems to be going off without a hitch, and there's not a single person here who sounds like coins falling down steps.
Mm-hmm. On that note, then, as her group kind of stepping to do another number, which she isn't in, Belle's gonna, she's gonna slip away as much as she can, and she's gonna make her way towards the bar where everyone else is, and she's gonna be weaving through the crowd.
Gregory waves.
Yeah. She'll you'll notice she'll almost be perched kind of on her tiptoes, trying to see past the crowd. Since she's standing at chest height of much of them, but as soon as Gregory waves, she can see Gregory right away. She'll she'll quickly kind of quick step her way there. Gregory, Kaylee, you made it.
Well, of course.
It's good to see you. It's been far too long. She'll smile.
You saw me the other day.
Yeah. She'll run a hand through her hair.
You do spend a lot of time away from home.
Mm.
I do. It's just with rehearsals. It's been a long few days, but everyone seems to be happy. Glances back.
They are, although things are very interesting here. The king is not too bad. Very jolly sort for one so small. I like him.
She'll give like a little smile and a nod. Charlemagne, yeah, he's something.
Ooh.
Mel will take Mel will stop, kind of take a break, moving through the crowd. When she sees Hermione look around. You guys seen Theodore?
No.
I didn't think he'd show up. Is he around?
He did.
Really?
Yeah, I think he told Ava that the way to drink gin was the entire bottle at once. And she'd had like 3.
Well, it's not Theodore's fault that she's an idiot. You grin as he orders a drink.
Is she okay?
I got her drinking water and sat down.
That's a good start.
But yeah, it's like now I've got to figure out, was he just messing with her and she didn't know any better, or was he like deliberately trying to get her?
I will solve this problem for you very quickly, Mel. Nods very firmly.
Okay.
Where are we? Like, where are we?
We're in a nightclub.
Mm-hmm. And we're in the middle of court.
Yep.
Where everybody is.
Yes.
She's quite a sociable lady.
At times, yeah.
And now she's drunk and acting silly.
Oh dear.
Taps the side of his head.
You know what? It's fine.
Besides, now that she's acting silly, you look sensible. He'll lean and whisper.
She'll turn her head to the side. She wants to say something.
I believe you meant to say you look more sensible than you would already.
Clicks his fingers okay, like, that's it.
She'll straighten, like run her hands down the front of his suit, like kind of smooth it out, give a couple pats on the arm that are way harder than they needed to be. You know what? You're right, Gregory.
I always am. Says very confidently. It's just that I don't say it as well as Kaylee does, or Belle, or you, but I know what I need to say.
Well, I think all of us are going to have earned some marbles by the time we get home.
Marbles?
Glances to Mel, nods.
Okay. Oh,
Fairly sure Gregory just lost a marble.
How the looks over?
Smirking faintly. No, not reality marbles. No, she just innocent faces it. Man, there's something interesting sounding over there.
Oh no, it could be worse, Kaylee. You know, I could just let go. And then where would we be?
Then you'd lose
You would have
another
no
one.
more marbles left.
Mm-hmm. And then we would have the swear jar, and then there would be
I will break the swear jar again.
we are not having that discussion again.
It doesn't count if you don't understand what I'm saying.
It counts.
It's
If
a
it
shame.
It counts when I drop something and land on my foot, then it counts.
I really liked that vase size.
I'll shrug. He did tell me it was the swear jar when he handed it to me.
Well, lucky for you, I bought 4.
And for what it's worth, each one of them will at some point, like, she's still clinging hella onto Grigori's arm. Like, yeah, you can say that you would just let go, and it's that easy. But she's like a fucking lamprey. She's vicious. No, she's latched on good. But she will at some point, like, reach over and just idly, having a pretty good idea as conversation goes where each of the bins reaches out at about, shoulder level to just kind of brush fabric, brush the shoulder, whatever have you. Make at least fleeting physical contact to reassure herself.
Mel will turn to Gregory, look at him, and say, "See, this is why your jar has the least amount of marbles in it."
I don't need marbles. Grin's back.
Well, of course you don't need marbles when you're the one who can just make cupcakes.
Well, I'm the most successful one out of all of us, so fixes his tie. Like, that's right. Look how well I'm dressed. Oh.
Haley will begin tentatively to reach out to where, she knows Mel is standing. And she has brushed her shoulder at least once at this point. She reaches out and just kind of gingerly sets a hand on her shoulder to kind of try to orient where Mel is standing, exactly what direction she's facing, just so that she can be catty. But first she needs to know where that arm is.
Oh yeah, like the Mel will kind of like lean into the hand.
Yep, she will just, she has one arm hooked on Gregory. When she finally gets an idea of where Mel is standing, slides one arm in, slides one arm out, and sticks her tongue out at Gregory, hooking onto Mel.
Grins, and he'll take a casual drink of the drink he's ordered. That's fine, I wanted to dance anyway.
Theodore appears out of the crowd, seemingly from nowhere, next to Charlemagne. Did your Highness invite...
Charlemagne is currently getting... Somebody's taking a body shower. So. Yes, what's up?
Did your Highness invite to this party some non-seasonal guests?
Are they here?
Well, I just spotted one standing out there in the hallway, waving at the camera.
Takes 2 shots and walks with the good gentleman.
As Theodore and him walk by the crowd of other changelings, perhaps a motley and a dancer, you can hear him say, "Strangest thing about the fella out there, currently looks like a tiger."
Interesting.
Almost immediately, Kaylee is like shooting the hand out, hoping Gregory hasn't actually sidled away.
No, he's taking a drink.
That sparks something in my brain. Mel Matt.
Yes.
Have I met this person?
Theodore?
Or no, the guy that looks like a tiger.
You haven't.
Okay. Never mind then.
Charlemagne is watching, and he takes out his smartphone that looks like a Red Ranger power morpher, and he starts texting. I guess for the one goes to Lillian, the other ones go to the people he's asked specifically to be on, uh, and to be aware of said person. So Mel would definitely get the I don't know that person.
Okay, now Mel is suspicious.
But he will look to damn it, so just watch him, see what he does. It's an open party, but if anything gets crazy, let me know.
She just nods.
So you're not going to want to talk to the fella up there?
That'd be the neighborly thing to do, wouldn't it?
Well, I think that the neighborly thing to do in this particular instance involves my Chicago typewriter that I currently have on
No,
hand.
no, 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 no. Thank you, my dog, my love, my doll, my precious lamb chop. I will go say hi.
Charlemagne, I'm just telling you right now, if you want your problem to go away, I can make it quick. I mean, I'll just write him a very harsh letter with the typewriter.
I've been asked to be civil and to be nice. This is what I'm going to do.
Can't blame me for trying.
If they step out of line, there's more than enough people here that can show him the door.
You're
And he
lost,
shows
he says with a shrug.
good old fashioned Brooklyn beatdown. As he goes, he goes to speak to this tiger-esque person.
Does anyone else go following Charlemagne?
Yeah, Mel will follow.
Security's on point. Like,
Well, up there is a young-looking man who looks like a humanoid tiger standing there in a business suit.
he will go and sort of smile. Hello there.
Good evening. I'm Jae-un.
I'm Charlemagne. Welcome to my club.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. You are the Spring Emperor, yes?
Yeah, he smiles.
I believe we have much to talk about.
He looks and he smiles. What would you like to talk about?
Perhaps we could do so over drinks.
Sure thing. Um, a text message. He goes and he makes his way over to like one of the several bars in this massive nightclub. And a message will go to Bella. If she's available. And he will get himself a nice old fashioned.
Jae-un will motion to counter. You haven't detected a mantle off of him at this present moment.
Mhm.
And he will order a bottle of soju.
Gotcha. That's on me.
I appreciate this. Your hospitality is legendary.
That counts for pusher, so you know. Uh, so, my friend, what brings you here?
I wish to discuss with you. I had heard that there was a party, and considering the rest of my compatriots had already spoken with you.
Compatriots, do you mean, can't remember off the top of my head of the other, merchant, monarchs?
I do indeed.
Okay. So, and, are you part of that court specifically?
I would be in a similar position to yourself.
Okay. Um, and what is it that you deal in?
Ah, straight to the point. The newly minted Queen of Coins did not speak so highly of you. I see that her words were mistaken.
Um, see, she missed the party. That's an awful shame.
And I can tell from your words that you would not mind if she made a entrance.
As far as now, there's no reason for us not to be neighborly.
At that moment, his whatever masking agent, whatever work of glamour was hiding his mantle seems to fall away, and you have this smell of the sea, like sea spray rising into the air, and you can feel the sense of hot wax dropping onto your arm.
Hmm. That's peculiar.
I represent the court of barter.
Ah, you do. Hmm. And where do you find yourself taking up residence these days? Or is that on a need to know basis?
Well, we could always trade information and make a deal, yes?
Hmm. Making of deals. It would seem that, much like your compatriots, you're definitely open to negotiations and quite strong arm. No disrespect.
Well, considering that I am from a position of power in this instance, metaphorically speaking, we are, of course, in your home.
Mm-hmm. Metaphorically?
Metaphorically, I have information you desire. You have less information that I desire, personally.
So I suppose my question, which would be the first question, I would be willing to. As he to be falling on his words, as it seems to, it's almost as if he's not, he's giving him the proper respect, but he's actually weighing his words before he says them.
The information I personally seek is associated with your Court of Wrath.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of packages out here.
With that information, I am willing to barter a meeting if you're willing. Since
With
I
me
know,
personally?
uh, with the Queen of Wrath herself, would you be interested?
Personally, I would rather avoid speaking with your Queen of Wrath directly.
Oh, well, today seems to be your lucky and fortunate choice. There's quite a few people here that would love to speak to you.
I'm sure.
Um, but yes, I can definitely set up a meeting with you to speak to a representative if Her Majesty is a bit too daunting for you. And what would you give in exchange?
Well, first, I do not want there to be any misunderstandings.
Mhm.
Your Queen of Wrath is much like my own Queen of Coins. I don't have need to speak with soldiers, per se.
So my question then becomes more of an inquiry. Why speak to someone who deals with spring on a matter that deals with summer?
Because perhaps you have someone here that you could bring up for me to talk with.
With that, he will, if Mel is still around.
Yep, Mel is still here. She is looking at Charlemagne with a raised eyebrow.
He's calling her over.
She'll come over. What's up?
Can you go get Grigori? It's something's come up, and he needs to be aware.
Okay. What do I need to tell him specifically?
His court needs him.
Okay. All right. Mel will. Mel will go downstairs and search out Gregory.
I'm not hard to find. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not hard to find. Like, you know, he's kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
The other big fucking dragon in this place. Mel will find him, kind of sidle up to him. Gregory.
Look over as he's, you know, probably chatting with Kaylee. Then you look over and go, yes. Oh, hello, Mel. Oh, yes.
Hey. So your court needs you up there. And she's gonna point upstairs where she just came from.
There's a stair. Puts the drink down. Transfers Kaylee onto Mel. Goes very serious from that easygoing, smiling, chatting to this very serious stare. Just nods and just walks.
Seeing as Kaylee is being handed off, once she has a hand back on Mel, she tips her head to the side. What's happening?
Someone wanted to speak with someone. Someone needed to speak with someone from the summer court, but didn't want it to be the queen. So Charlemagne drafted Gregory. I can tell you more when we're not quite in such a place.
There will be a very recognizable, very distinct, stubborn expression pitched after the direction Grigory is going. I mean, she can still feel the warmth radiating off of him, even from here.
Mel will put a hand on Kaylee's back. I need to go up there to make sure that bad things don't happen if somebody loses their temper. Do you want to come with me, or do you want me to find someone down here?
Oh, take me with you.
And she'll put an arm around Kaylee's waist and escort her upstairs.
Looking at Grigori coming towards him, Charlemagne will go up to greet him.
Oh yeah.
And sort of go in close. This gentleman is from the merchant courts. You may not be aware of this, but the last meeting with team myself, the Autumn King, Chase, as well as a few others from the Autumn Court, were discussing the intricacies of the merchant court suddenly showing up. They quite, as it turns out right now, the courts have decided that we aren't going to be openly hostile. However, there seems to be information pertaining to your court. And I don't mean to put you directly on the spot, but it's important.
No nod.
Hmm.
I see. Very well.
Understand that before, like, he sort of lets his hands go. They don't think like we do. Sure, you be on your toes when you offer things.
Nods again. Thank you, Your Majesty. Just nods very formally. We'll walk over.
Charlemagne will take a seat and offer a chair to Grigori.
It rise to shake the guy's hand as well. Very polite, very
The man will shake hands with him when he comes close. My name is Jae-un.
Grigori.
You are a man of particular talent.
I do what I have to.
By that I mean you are a member of the Courts of Wrath.
You sit down. I am the Herald.
I am honored.
What business do you have then?
I wish to know if you are seeking tactical intelligence.
Tactical intelligence on which?
Any. We can acquire tactical intelligence for you on enemies, allies, third parties.
Nods again. Now the question I'm wondering is why are you not speaking to my queen?
Simple reason. Your queen, if she is everything that we have been told about the Courts of Wrath, would be very similar to my compatriot in the Courts of Coins.
Court of Coins, Grigori, just to bring you up to speed, is the court that so happily insisted that they want to be they want to take up residence inside my court for houses one say to set up shop.
Hmm.
Being that they are they are extremely privy to knowledge. Uh, when the information that we discussed prior is relevant now.
Nods.
More to the point, there are many rulers who take offense when you come directly to them rather than through intermediaries.
Hmm. He will ease his shoulders and just kind of roll them a bit. If that is what you wish to do, then I have utter faith in my queen, and she will hear the information either way, whether you choose to give it to me or to her.
I just wish to make a deal. We provide information and
And depends on the quality of the information you're giving. That is one thing. Brave service can be not. I will not trade my courtier's life for petty information. Deals are intricate business. We cannot just simply make them on the spot.
of course. But I would rather you pass this on to your queen now that I have spoken to you.
That I can do.
We have now, or I should say, I myself have now done what I believe would be the most honorable thing, and have passed on the offer.
Nods. That is the indeed. I can ferry the offer to my queen and see what she says. Nothing more, nothing less.
Excellent.
But there was one slight detail I have missed. What are you wanting from us in exchange for the information? You've been holding that bit back.
I would never think to offer something and then make a demand for it without suitable compensation first. So I will provide information that can be verified later before any deals are truly made.
Good. Good. No, that is acceptable. And nods. Seems just again calm.
Since we both know time is money and no one likes their time wasted, for this meeting, what were you saying you were going to give?
Mm.
That I wish to provide directly to the Queen, so as to not dilute the information.
Maybe I'm a little out of the loop when it comes to information, but you asked me previously that you wish to speak to someone of summer, and then I responded in time and said that I would do so, but on the premise that you would give something to me.
He nods. He nods at them.
So, being that this information, and you are indeed speaking to someone of summer, I expect that someone of the court of Barda would be able to make good on his deal.
Of course. But I can't provide that to you until it arrives.
Surely you can give something.
I can, and it is on its way.
Charlemagne leans back, as if to say he has all the time in the world.
Excellent. I didn't want to take you away from your festivities yet.
Party hasn't started yet, it's just the opener.
I'll be honest, your court is strange to me.
Education is pivotal in these coming nights, and I'm sure that you will be more than willing to learn, and others in turn.
What about your court? He says, pointing over at Mel.
I do believe it would be improper for you to, being the delicate nature and me doing a solid for Mel and not leading her into a place she is unaware of. I believe, since this is such a very delicate situation, that your questions for that particular court be left for the Herald and the King himself.
Gregory nodded that, like, yup.
Eloquently spoken.
And that goes for the ever. He kind of turns his head, noticing for the good lady as well. Until their representatives are here, I don't want them to be put in situations that will cause them undue harm. Because in this club, they are my responsibility. But yes, I'm curious about this information.
It is information that I had bartered for. She'll be here soon to provide it. He says, looking at his cell phone. She assures me. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment here to explain one thing. Tokens, most of them, become visibly magical the moment you spend glamour on them. So whether that is considered aggressive or whether it's considered non-aggressive depends entirely on the person you're doing it around. Given it is an unknown token that no one knows what it does, it could go in any direction.
Okay, I'm just trying to kind of weigh out how the responses and whatnot work. In other games, I'm a little more familiar how people work to things pinging off, even if they don't know what it is. This one I wasn't quite so sure.
Hey, I did have a question.
Yes.
I had to go for a little bit. I got back more than a few minutes ago, so I heard all the exchanges all over here.
Yep.
Pretty much everybody's up on the upper floor, right?
At this point in time, everyone, but unless I don't know if Belle went up there when she got the text, but you and Belle both got a text to come on up.
Okay, she would have been up then.
Because I'm not sure if Curtis is still with us at this point.
Yep.
Oh, you are still with us. Good. All right. A few minutes pass, and then you, anyone who's working security hears through their earpiece from Nicholas. Okay. We have someone at the door, and I don't think I can stop her. Do you want me to let her in?
Who is it?
It would be your favorite person, that coins woman.
Sherwin?
Mel, it's not subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. She doesn't try to hide it or anything. Mel locks eyes with Gregory with a look that very, very plainly says, "Be on your damn best behavior or else."
Kind of raises her an eyebrow as he's, calm, weighing, sitting there.
Yep. Mel's pretty much said it.
Girl walks in, cute pleated pink skirt with a white top, just very plain, ordinary, walking in, flowers in her hair. And as she approaches, she has that loud sound coming off of her like coins falling down steps into water below.
Slight nod to Gregory. This is what I just meant to communicate. This is what I was talking about.
I'm so happy that you could make it. Can I get you something to drink?
She looks at Charlemagne, her smile clearly forced. Sure.
What would you like?
Screwdriver.
And with that, he will go and retrieve her drink and give it back and place it in her hands. Just to make sure that everyone is treated with due respect. Would you like to have a seat? I'd like to introduce you to the Herald of the Summer Court, Grigori.
She gives a polite curtsy at the name.
Rises and bows.
Azuki Matsumoto, she says, sticking out a hand.
Grigori, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Is it okay to call you Grigori, or should I call you Mr. Grigori?
Whatever you feel comfortable with, my lady. I shrugs.
She'll take a seat, point a well-manicured, painted nail with with a yellow flower on it towards the floor. Charlemagne, I still don't like that you have a glass upper floor.
Well, unlike previous amenities and previous meetings, we go above and beyond to show that everyone here is treated with respect, unlike the last meeting we had when you invited me to the merchant court, that is. But understand that when you have as much as I do, and that you are in fact a living manifestation of greed, you would be on your best behavior here.
Gregory just sips his drink, like, yep.
Yeah, sips her drink too.
Yep. Sits there like, yep, you know what? Just gonna sit here. Woo.
Don't worry.
Thirsty all of a sudden.
I'm not here because I want to be. I'm here because I have a debt to pay. So what information was it that... Oh, you wanted me to provide... She realizes what's going on immediately. You want me to provide it. Alright. No one can get in or out of the city.
Why is that?
He looks over at Jaeun, who holds up his hands and nods. It would seem that we are unable to get out of the city, and we don't know why. I am assuming by her silence that she does not know either, which is troublesome because she is our best when it comes to getting into and out of places. What he means is I know where all the best routes through the hedge are. Same with a couple of trods. Something's preventing us from leaving, and it turns us right back around.
I see. And this has been causing you issue? More so than before.
She'll nod her head. It seems to be impacting your court as well, but not a lot of people reporting it yet.
I see. Based off of the intel that you have received, do you know if it is something that hasn't been paid from your end?
No, it's nothing that we have had issues with before.
So, while you have ventured here, are you absolutely positive nothing has followed you here?
She looks over at Jaeun, looks back. Nothing's followed my court. But if something did come, it might have come through theirs.
That answer wasn't the one I was looking for.
I don't keep track of what the other courts do.
I see. Am I led to believe that each court is left to their own devices?
They're left to their own devices based upon relevance to their sphere of influence.
Not. Go ahead, sir.
The Court of Coins makes their own deals and transactions independent of ours, just like we operate independent of theirs. Similar to your own courts and areas of interest. We do cooperate, such as when we have been setting up our base of operations, our new freehold, as you've seen.
All right, real quick, just to double check.
He's saying it's with sympathy.
Okay, because especially if she's saying this is not something we've had trouble with before, I'm like, I want to weigh that, and I don't even know what I should roll.
That would be a wits plus empathy. I will give you your perception bonuses.
I don't know what that means.
That means if your clarity is 6 or higher and undamaged, you add 2 extra dice to it.
Okay. I'm trying to remember all my fucking merits real fast. Don't. Did Trained Observer also grant a bonus?
Give me 1 second to look that one up again.
I'm sorry.
It's totally fine, but so if the way that the way the dice roller works, right?
I don't.
Okay, so you don't actually have to. It's a little different than. It's a little different than the way the other dice roller we use in like other games.
Yeah, you have to do
at Discord, and it's going to do
at Discord.
At Discord. It's going to do everything automatically unless you have weird things like 8 again and 9 again. So, for example, like roll 2, you're just going to roll the d10 and it's automatically going to re-roll any 10s that pop up.
Trained
So I just-
observer does not apply to this roll.
Okay, so it's with sympathy. I've got an extra 2 dice.
Yes.
And I just say 8d10 or
Just 8. Just roll 8.
All
At
one-
Discord, roll 8. Roll space 8.
roll space 8. Okay.
Yes. And 5 successes. You gain the informed condition on her.
I don't know what that does, but I'm excited.
All right. The informed condition is amazing because it means you have a good deal of information. You've gotten a good read on her. Something about you being the master of perception. You can just tell there's something about things she says. So what it allows you to do is if you resolve the condition, even a single success counts as an exceptional success.
What is resolving a condition? I don't know what's happening.
You, in the case of informed, when you make a relevant roll against her now, you can say, I'm expending the informed condition before you roll. Afterwards, if you get at least 1 success on the roll, it counts as an exceptional success.
Yay.
Just because you have that good of a read on her. And the answer to your question is, she is most certainly telling the truth. Like, you're 100% certain she's telling the truth.
Okay. Do I just do the same roll at any point where I am concerned on whether or not she is being honest?
Yep, and you can tell me you're expending the informed condition or not. You just have to let me
Okay.
know before you do so.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Sorry, I derailed everything.
It's
but I
okay.
was excited.
So, are we done?
You should treat the king with better respect in his own home. Gregory will say very firmly.
She perks up at that.
He invited you here in good grace and hospitality. You should treat him with better respect.
As Lillian gets very interested in that drink she's drinking.
But that's not my business.
But
That's not my
and if I
business.
don't, you're going to.
Excuse me, for the individuals present, I am definitely responsible for what happens inside of this club. The moment you leave this club, I have no dominion. So I ask, we have invited you here under the pretense that everyone here will be well behaved. If you decide to go outside of that agreement, I leave you to the capable hands of the court crab.
Gregory just nods, takes a sip of his drink. Yeah, that's right. That's what he said.
This drink's so good right now. Lillian's very much enjoying this drink right now.
I think I missed something.
Somebody tried to get like a little turned and was just, no, sweetie, have a seat.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Just consider Mel face palming in the corner.
That's fine.
June speaks up. Yes, you have provided such great hospitality, and we are most appreciative of it. To the Mr. Gregory, yes?
Yes.
My court is known as the one that rescues those who are caught in a bad deal or debt. I say this with no ill will towards your capabilities, but you perhaps would want to not take her up on any offers of throwing hands.
I did my good
understand.
deal.
I understand the threat. A smile. But I will not tolerate rudeness to my fellow neighboring court king in his home. Court of wrath or no, or threat aside, I am a simple man. And simplicity and respect is due.
I have merely given a warning.
And you have received mine.
You have given me nothing but a threat back.
Mel
Precisely.
clears her throat. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps we can chalk this deviation from pleasant conversation topics to a clash of cultures and get back on track without anyone not being on their without with everyone being able to put their best face forward.
Well said, Mo. Gregory
Jaden will sip his soju.
Gregorius is passionate, as is his court's namesake. But in terms of this negotiation for information, since this seems to be a threat that is not only affecting you, but clearly us, I assume that the information that you have gathered thus far will be well worth any expense towards the Court of Wrath.
Jaeun nods his head. I do believe that the information, when passed to the appropriate hands,
All right.
Good.
And also, there's something else I wanted to discuss with you. And now that we have our very immediate and very well respected and received Lady of Coins, there is the information of us trying to understand your ways and your customs.
that would be harder.
How so, and why so?
Eight courts in total, talking, trying to share ideas. It would be foolish for me to say that would not be difficult. Given the eagerness of some of my colleagues to express themselves, he says, looking over at Matsumoto, and your fellow courtier's desires as well. He says, looking over at Gregory. That would be just merely one difficulty.
So if I can make a suggestion that does not require an immediate answer, perhaps a meeting of the minds should definitely occur at a later date with all courts and their representatives present. This way, we can eliminate any undue hostilities.
I could agree to that. Seeing as we have members of each court present.
Indeed, we have members of each court present, it would be ill-advised for us to speak for other courts and what their desires are, since only myself and the Herald of Summer are present. We have members associated from those courts, but no one with the actual authority to speak on their court's behalf.
But perhaps they could speak to their personal thoughts on the matter, whether or not they believe their monarchs would be amiable to such an arrangement.
Um, Let me add one caveat for those that choose to answer. Please keep in mind that what the words that you utter will be held to the harshest meaning of, be held to the very literal translation of what you're trying to say, not the spirit.
I believe that the Autumn King would be open to further amiable discussions among both our groups of courts.
I can say only that given the opportunity to do so, I could make mention of it. I do not guess the intentions of my monarch.
Behind Kaylee is Theodore, pointing at his violin case.
Like you just see Charlemagne like,
I can't actually
Oh.
see that he's there.
Right. But Katie can hear the sounds of what sounds like bullets shaking inside a drum magazine.
Yeah, well, she tips her head faintly, shrugs. She just got made an idiot of because she can't fucking see.
Oh. Yeah.
Theodore, would you like to join
I
the
actually
table?
totally forgot that NPC was there because he hasn't done shit since we started this entire conversation.
It's almost as if he's winter court.
God damn it. Nope.
Too many
He's just
people
mouthing
already.
the word at this point, introduction, while pointing at it.
You just see Charlemagne. You can't see my face, but I'm doing like the movement from the underneath the chin, like no, like
He lets out a sigh, lowers it back down, looks dejected, lowers his cowboy hat, which he's still wearing despite wearing a zoot suit.
I would like to express from the very capable hands of those from Winter. They are here and they are listening. He says very pointedly.
Yep, she heard the bullets. That's all it needed.
It's like the Court of Shady Deals all over again.
I hope. I know that, dearest Matsumoto, that you have a very viper-like tongue. Understand that we are trying in earnest to facilitate a definite conversation. Please ask in the spirit of brotherhood that you not antagonize anyone else this evening.
Jaeun is going to look at her and then look at Charlemagne. I believe there is a old story about scorpions, frogs, and drowning.
Looks over at Jaeyoon because she knows that story.
I know that story too, and I'm trying, guys, but like,
So, Perhaps you and I can make a deal.
What would you offer?
We will agree to hold a meeting. We will bring together like minds. And the ones in charge of that diplomacy could be ourselves.
May I add a caveat to said agreement? For those coming to speak, might I ask that if the monarchs find themselves at else indisposed with other pressing matters of the cities, that they may spend heralds and those to speak on their behalf.
It would be agreeable. I would also offer, as a fair exchange, both of our sides can provide the security arrangements. So we can bring armed individuals that they may feel more comfortable. He says, looking between Gregory and Matsumoto.
I don't think he understands what he just said, but
I think he understands exactly what he said.
Charlemagne drinks his old fashioned and sits back. Let Summercon handle that. Sounds like people want to get rowdy and shit.
If this is meant to be a declaration of understanding between the two courts, bringing weapons seems like a fruitless endeavor. But if you want to bring them, I will not say no.
Oh, it's good to know that you're not. Jaeyoon just makes a shh motion with his fingers.
No. Say
Bring-
what you're going to say. No.
Ooh.
Don't hide. Say what you're going to say.
Oh. Yeah.
Jaeyoon just throws up his hands at this point, goes back to taking a shot at Shoju.
Drinks his old fashioned. Apparently, they want to do what they do.
Gregor will just say, "Take a drink."
Yeah.
Let me hear it about how inferior I am to you. I'm sure everyone will hear it 1,000 times a different way. Smirks.
So members of your court aren't living weapons.
I don't need a weapon. I don't need a sword. I don't need an axe. I am the weapon. If that's what you think you need, that's more for you.
No. Just my bare hands. And a punching bag.
Lillian looks like she's measuring something.
Is that dick big enough yet?
I don't
Pretty
know.
fine.
But people seem
On both ends, like on both ends sides, she's kind of measuring something out.
people just keep slamming their dicks on the table, and I'm just trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, that's what Gregor would just say. Is your dick big enough yet?
Oh,
She looks him up
dear.
and down.
Oh, damn.
Too big for you.
Let me guess. It's
Ooh.
bigger than mine. Oh yes, predictable. You're doing a lot of talking. Gregor will stand. I don't waste time on people who talk. Your Majesty, you start walking down the stairs.
And the spirit. Now that we have gotten the aggression out of our bodies and our spirits and our minds, is there anything else you would like to discuss? Since I do believe quite pointedly the Herald of Summer has indeed given his answer.
I would personally just like to keep having drinks at this point.
Well then, as it stands, Kaylee,
Head ticks up. Yes.
let your Winter Monarch know that such an arrangement is going to happen. We can move forward with any type of agreements and to see if that he is indeed amicable to such a meeting.
There is a pause. A thoughtful blink. A slight cant of the head, just ever so slightly, like the listening tilt in the back in the direction of the rattling bullets. Like, I know you're back there.
Well,
If I am able to meet with him, I will do so.
thank you. Being that I would like to hear the opinion of the winter, I will tangentially make that agreement.
It would be my honor for us to have such an event. We will discuss location, something both of us could agree on.
Indeed. Well then, now that we've taken care of specific business, myself is going to enjoy this wonderful party. You all are free to enjoy yourselves for the festivities. I trust everyone will be on their best behavior. Good. That Charlemagne gets up from his seat with his drink and gets ready for his performance.
And as he goes off, Jaeun will take another shot, look at everyone else present. And just sit there.
Yeah, Lillian's not going to deal with awkward silence. Did he mention that he was the king of barters?
He mentioned he was the monarch, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure you mentioned that.
You guys go ahead, sorry, Tim.
Fuck it, I gotta be an autumn courtier. I gotta deal with the unknown. Also, I'm a scholar. I have to deal with the unknown. So, out of character, Matt, his name is pronounced Jasun?
Jaeun.
Jaeun. My bad. Is that just his first name, or is that like the full name?
That's all he gave, just like Charlemagne and Grigori only gave Charlemagne and Grigori.
Okay, that's fair. Lillian will stand up, and she will call out very softly, Mr. Jaeun.
He will look over at her. Yes.
I apologize for disturbing your drink. I am Lillian Dark.
He nods.
I was curious about the information that you had brought to us about not being able to leave the city.
Motions over at Matsumoto.
She'll she'll bow to Azuki, and she'll ask, should I perhaps take the implication that I believe both freeholds would want to see this problem solved? I think that because of the fact that you are here, I think we can all agree on one thing. We don't particularly like being caged, even if it's in a whole city.
There's a distinctive uncomfortable shift.
She will lean forward. The sound of her elbows colliding with the table are soft. Her expression is neutral, but her breathing is slightly picked up. It's important for us to deal with matters as they stand. However, she looks at Lillian straight in the eyes. Whether or not this proves to be a caging remains to be seen.
Very well. I apologize for my vulgarity then.
Is it not synonymous to you to be caged, to be kept in a place that you cannot leave?
We don't know if this is a 100%. Is it a wall or more porous like a fence?
I see.
Because it is of interest to she'll stop and kind of hold herself before she talks, and she'll say, I lack any ability to necessarily represent or make deals for my court as it stands. But what I would ask is, I suppose if it is of personal interest, if there are those that require support in solving the issue, however it needs to be solved, would there be a possibility of, say, an investment?
Azuki will lean back a little at that. All right. Trial run. How does that sound?
She'll nod. She'll say, that is fair. I apologize again, Miss Matsumoto. I am still trying to learn your language.
Well, if any of you present want to look into this problem,
Do we know where
There's-
this invisible line is?
we have a rough idea right now. Conforms pretty well to the borders of Austin, Texas. However, we know that there are still shipments of something coming in through the docks in the hedge.
And does that mean your highnesses are able to come and go between here and the markets?
I thought it'd become common knowledge. We're. She bites her lip for a second. Set up like your freehold by the Goblin Market. That's where our primary one is.
I did know that. I was unaware of the specificity of how this affected you. Now I have a better idea. Thank you.
If you bring me information on whether or not we're able to pass through the docks, then we'll consider ourselves invested.
Lillian will nod to that, and she'll say, all right, that is fair enough. Your Majesty, thank you.
If you want to get in contact with me, then there's a place where we can meet.
She'll perk up.
I'm sure you're familiar with the city at this point.
Passingly, yes.
We can meet at the Four Chambers.
She puts that into her memory banks and says, will you just know to find me there when it's time? Or is that where you typically hang out, Your Majesty?
You'll find out if you go.
She'll take that. That's the best she gonna get.
Anything else? We're always open for business.
She'll look over to the rest of the changelings.
I mean, to be fair, Kaylee has yet to directly really look at anyone and is still mostly just kind of folded in on Mel. Is still got an arm, tucked around, and has been idly, like, periodically, especially when she feels like literal physical tension rise, is just kind of rubbing the hand idly, like, up and down her wrist. Like, it's not something she's thinking about, per se. If you can find the points where these invisible lines are drawn, I will go look.
That gets there is a noticeable reaction from Mel there. But
She pats the back of the hand as she says it.
kind of a tight squeeze and a plainly surprised expression on her face.
I don't like being in a cage, even a big one.
I concur. I will Pelgate as well.
All right. Well, I told you about the test of the hedge that we were hoping for. If you're looking to test the ways in and out, check the interstate.
The interstate. All right.
I would need someone to accompany me who was familiar with the hedge. Kind of glancing. For all the world, it looks like she does look up, like almost as if looking into Mel's face, and finally kind of flicking glances towards the others that she has heard speaking. Kind of searchingly, hoping to catch an answer off someone or a sound, a shifting, any sort of hint.
Of course, you can count on my support. And Mel will look around. Like anyone else? Actually, you know what? She's very pointedly going to look at Theodore.
Where's Theodore?
That is like the last she knew he was here. She's gonna look around for him. And if she spots him, she's gonna look at him.
Nope, he is poof.
He is gone. Well, that's all. That's just fine then.
You can assume that Charlemagne's down, but he has to actually tend to his party. He's been away for too long.
Yeah,
He
Gregory will
has
probably
song
join
to
in.
sing.
But right now, Gregory's getting wasted because it's either that or he's going to punch somebody. So that's what Gregory's doing.
Her. I will. I will see who else may be willing to come with us. And Kaylee won't see it, but well, probably won't see it, but Mel will give a little smile to her. There is safety in greater numbers, after all.
I'm glad some people are amiable to trades. So let me know whatever you find, and we can talk.
And the worst that can be gained is mutual benefit. There's a light shrug.
You're not wrong.
And she'll finally give Mel's hand a light pat. Can you help me find a place to sit downstairs?
Certainly. Your Highnesses, please excuse me. And Mel will lead Kaylee back downstairs.
Does anyone have anything else they wanted to do at the party?
Yes, there's one thing I wanted to do.
Excellent.
Do it.
I composed a song for this event. It was more of a chance thing, but he actually pulled through. So I get the equipment bonus. I'm going to roll for it if you allow it. Because
I will allow you that roll.
Because people are sleeping and I don't want to be that guy. So the striking looks coming to apply
In
to
this instance, yes.
Okay.
Your striking looks would apply to this.
Okay.
And remember, your max set an equipment bonus of +5 because everyone just kept stacking stuff on you.
Okay, so do I get any being that I was able to make my roll for the song, it was supposed to give a modifier of swooning? I think. I'm not sure.
Did you get your 5 successes?
On the song, let me check. No, he was able to write it, but I don't think he gets the extra modifier. All right. So,
good luck.
Indeed.
50 dice. Botch.
Cries.
Because you guys have been rolling so well.
Cries in spring. So that's 4. It will be expression, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
it'd be presence plus expression.
4. 6, 7.
Plus your 5 dice from equipment bonus.
That is 7, 13. Do I get any more dice from anywhere else?
If you spend willpower, there's not a club bonus for this.
I would argue that I'm trying to be seen. So, would I be able to get the club bonus?
I believe is the club bonus. I don't think was for expression though.
I believe.
Bringing up my setting because I have it all there. Spring Court. Thank God you're the top one. It's a +1 expression bonus. It's a socialized bonus if you're upstairs.
Okay. So we are going to roll. My dice cord.
Botch.
That is 17 dice.
Okay, you're probably not botching.
7 successes. He sings in a very silky, sexy baritone.
Everyone loves it. It has people are silent for the entire performance, but at the end you get a rousing round of applause from everyone present. There are people cheering, whistling. The lights are all on you.
This was more so for I feel sort of bad that Bella wasn't able to do her thing. So this is more of a sort of for the Madame Laurent,
Mhm.
and it's basically impromptu publicization for Madame Laurent. So people will come and like give it money.
In the back, she's standing there. You can see her doing the polite clap and nodding at you
Hmm.
at the end.
And he would actually ask her to come up and say a few words.
You have touched my heart in a way that I am incapable of expressing in words. Your kindness, generosity, and the great things you have done.
Uh,
Thank you.
and with that, he would actually embrace her. We do the spring thing. We take our photo moment. And as agreed, from since Charlemagne doubled admission prices to his club tonight, the Madame Laurent gets 15 off the top towards her club, and the what else did I say? And the party planner gets an additional 15 off the top. So I guess that's 30% off the top to support his court and the things that they want to do.
Okay.
And yeah, and I guess we just party the night away.
All right. Anyone else?
Question. We actually all got swooned from that shit, right?
Yeah.
How do you... Oh, sorry.
If that is what was being aimed for, yes.
How do I resolve it?
swooning- well, to resolve it, you must do something for your love interest that puts him in danger. Him being yourself, or he opts to fail a roll to resist a social action by the specified character. That said, swooned is not like some of the other ones. Swooned is one of those conditions that stays on you until I believe so. I am double checking something real quick on conditions for this because swooned is one of those rare conditions that can be applied. Social is, I'll be honest, the social system's new to me as well. So
That's legit. If we want to handle it like out of scene, that's fine.
I can go fast. 1 second. Let's see here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this one kind of sticks with you, but let me double check one more thing. Yeah. So, you guys have the condition still on you. For the scene. If you want to resolve it now, you're gonna have to resolve it now.
I'm willing. If people want to resolve it, I'm down. I'm here. I'm not going.
Yeah. So how is it resolved again? Do you have to put them in danger?
Your character does something for his love interest that puts him in danger, or he opts to fail a roll to resist a social action by the specified character.
I'm not sure how I can come up with something like that right off the top.
Yeah, it would probably have to be later.
Yeah, that's fine. If it sticks with us, then it sticks with us. But
yep.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll have to talk with the others about social conditions that are given out because that can have some issues.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just literally don't understand them well.
I understand
No.
them for mental stuff because we've already as STs talked about that. It occurs to me we haven't talked about social conditions.
I was gonna say, does that mean my tolt width or whatever for what's her face remains? Like even
that-
beyond the end of a scene?
That's what we have to. The informed is a mental, and that one goes away. Is supposed to go away at the end of a scene, but we never talked about social conditions, so that might change depending on what we talk about. And if so, then you would get to keep it on you. So I would denote it for now on your sheets, and I will get back to you once I've spoken with the other STs, because conditions are a universal thing, and I can't make a unilateral decision.
Okie dokie. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
I guess not. In that case, if you would be so kind, Anthony, it's your party. Give me an outro.
All right. Just because I like poking at Torna, because it's fun. You will definitely see that when Charlemagne was singing his song, his eyes were on you. Don't know if he was actually singing towards you, but his eyes kept drifting towards you.
Oh my. Okay. Gregori's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, no, it was good. Oh my.
It is scandalous. Anyway, so as the night goes on, Charlemagne is basically being the gracious host. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing. Everybody's getting turned at this club called Crosshairs. Hopefully, things go well in the near future. Sayonara.